I know exactly what it's like to have a girl you like one of your homies. It's a sick feeling in your stomach.
K Manga was released today, and I have in my notes that it was released, and it is literal dog shit. So, he was a gamer boy. I said, "See you later, boy."
All right.
He wasn't good.
Stop with the Avril Lavigne and let's get on with the show.
She's great.
Whoa, Avril Lavigne's perfectly
Avril
fine.
Lavigne is actually very popular in Japan.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I love Avril Lavigne.
You know the
She's
first
fun.
you know the first
She's
take?
hot. She's very pretty. The what?
You know that YouTube channel, The First Take, where they have
Oh, yeah.
She was on there. She
They had her on there?
Yeah, she's saying Complicated.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I should watch that. I actually like that
Anyways, welcome guys to
We did it.
To the Life is Daijoubu podcast.
Podcast.
And today I'm going to do a live raw reaction to the K Manga app. I've heard some controversies. I haven't opened it yet. I saw the star as I download. I saw the star rating's got like a 1.1. Whereas I checked contrast to Viz Media's new manga app they just launched.
Viz Manga.
We should preface that
That's
too.
a
Hold on.
4.7.
I do have some actual news things to say before we do all this stuff, and I'd love to really get into this. But before we just start roasting things,
Yeah, but
I've got
I will
four things.
I will do the reaction doing the news segment when he pulls it up.
Yeah, when I
Yeah.
start talking about K Manga, he'll start reacting to it.
But
live.
also, we got news. We're gonna talk about the shows we're watching.
Which one are we watching today? Did we watch?
No, we're getting there. He's getting
the
there.
seasonal. We're talking about this. We're gonna
seasonal
talk about
stuff.
some of the seasonal
dude,
stuff
Sky,
we're watching.
come on.
Sorry.
Gosh, dang it.
God, you're ruining my flow, dude.
I am.
Freaking
Sorry.
A's,
Can we
guy.
just start over, please?
And all right, so we got news, we got seasonal anime, and we got our watch along anime, Kids on the Slope. And
I guess a tease for that. I thought it was hilarious how they kept bringing the slope back in occasionally. I thought that was cheeky. Anyway, let's
what's in the title? So
I know that. I
Kids
just
on
didn't
the
think they
Slope.
were gonna at all, but they just kept bringing it up. I thought it was funny.
It's symbolic.
It is symbolic.
But
yeah, I got news.
Yeah. So, anyways, let's bring on over to Cole with the news.
But like the news anchor guy. That's so much better than whatever I did. So, the first thing I've got is a manga that's getting an anime adaptation. It's called 365 Days to the Wedding. Gets a manga adaptation.
Sounds like a rom-com or something.
Yeah, very much a rom-com. I read the synopsis. Basically, it's just Nisekoi. So I'm probably going to read this manga now.
That sounds
so it's
great.
like a high school kid who's like...
No, they didn't seem like they're high school age at
it's
least.
college,
It just,
probably?
yeah, they seemed a little bit old. It seemed like older people, but Nisekoi still. Because it's like,
It's like a love triangle or a love dodecahedron.
Maybe, I don't know. They just said it was like a fake wedding or something. Fake relationship.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, next up I've got Yaboy Kong Ming is getting a live action adaptation. I just thought that was funny because it's iconic to us at this point where we love that show here.
I want to see their dancing.
You know, it's funny. Seasonal show
There
we're
you go,
watching.
they get it.
Seasonal show we're watching. I wouldn't be surprised if that gets a live action adaptation.
Oh yeah, I know exactly which one you're talking about. Okay, so the next thing I've got is the Netflix One Piece live action adaptation is going to have 8 episodes. And Oda is heavily involved with the production.
Okay.
I'm going to watch it.
I heard some people had stay at the test screening. I don't know if this is rumors, but they said their reaction to it was not good.
From what I understand, the Oda put out a statement that said something along the lines of that he's pretty sure this is the only time he's ever going to get to see One Piece in live action. And so he wants it to be good. And so the studio that's working on it, they won't publish it until Oda says it's okay.
Oh, okay. So
they're going to screen it through Oda before they ever publish it.
So I guess that was just rumors.
Could have been, yeah. Granted, this still doesn't mean it's going to be good or not, by the way.
Although it does remind me of the Aquaman screening when they said it was one of the worst movies they'd ever seen. Like, it was probably the worst DCEU movie. It's like, oh...
Yeah, it doesn't mean it's gonna be good. It's probably might just be like passable, I guess.
It's probably like Cowboy Bebop all over again.
So the next thing, this is kind of funny, I guess. I don't mean it to be a funny thing, but it made me laugh, I guess, when I first read it. But it's Mal, the popular website, my anime list was hacked today.
Oh,
so it's currently down right now.
Oof.
I'm not sure if it's back up right now. This is
a lot of like
May 10th, by the way.
That's a lot of like people get a lot of information from Mal. Like there's a news.
Oh, totally, yeah.
And they like keep track of that. So to have it be hacked, that's probably like really infuriating a lot of people.
It's probably all the Full Metal people that are mad that Oshinoko was topping it.
Yeah.
Freaking
guys, you gotta let Full Metal go. Like it's an amazing show, but I mean, some other things gotta be number one.
All right, now it is time for the big thing. First off, we've got Viz Manga was released 2 days ago as of this recording, and it's essentially the same model as the Shonen Jump app, which is $1.99 a month, and you get almost all of Viz Manga's or Viz Media's manga, pretty much their entire Shonen Sunday line, a good handful of their shoujo beat, a lot of like Rumiko Takahashi kind of stuff. Junji Ito's on there as well. It's got a lot of good stuff on there. $1.99 a month, and you have access to pretty much everything.
I bought all those Dorohedoro volumes, and now it's right on there.
And now Dorohedoro's on there. Granted, that is on the website because they can't show mature content on the app.
They can't show boobies.
There are some manga I bought that like I haven't read yet, and then I see them on the app, and it's like, probably just read it physical because something magical about physical books.
Yeah.
But
so now it is time for the moment of truth. K Manga was released today, and I have in my notes that it was released and it is literal dog shit. So
let me check let me pull up the score. You know, it's weird. I tried to look up K Manga and just wouldn't load. All right, let's see. We got this. Let's see. 1.2.
1.2 currently on the Google Play Store.
It's only got 10K plus downloads.
So what I thought was hilarious.
If you don't know what, that's 1.2 out of 5 stars, so that's really low. Even at a 10, that's rare. That's really
that's stupid
low.
low out of 10.
What I thought was hilarious too is I typed in K Manga on the Google Play Store and Viz Manga popped up first.
It's like Google's like, you know you want the better one. So let's pull it up. I got K Manga right here. It says send notifications for this. No. It says read the terms of service. Agree to the terms of service.
He just agrees right away without even looking.
What a guy.
Keep logging in and earn tickets. Resets daily. What? Get up to 23 tickets. Launch. Okay. Well, let's try to pull up a manga. I'm going to pull up Rent a Girlfriend. I don't read Rent a Girlfriend. Read from beginning. Free. Let's see. Let's show all the chapters. Uh-oh. Points. Microtransactions.
Not just microtransactions. And I'll explain it a little bit.
Let's
once
see
you keep
here.
looking.
Purchase points and read. Newcomer special sale underway. 7 days left. You need 69 more points. 69. Hot for Rent a Girlfriend. Hot wacky wacky.
Wacky.
So, all right. Maybe I want to go buy points. Let's see the My page. Purchase points. All right. I'm not actually going to purchase points. All right. So, you can buy 148 points for $1 or 198 points also for $1. Okay. 1 day only. And then you could buy, for $80, you could buy 8,000 points. I got one premium ticket right here, and I guess that's where you can, like, put it and read it, or or at least that's what I think.
So, I'll do some explaining.
How to use ticket. Oh, that's a YouTube video. I don't want to.
So try to win points.
This man's over here grinding points. So let me do some explanations. So K Manga, the way that it works is there are 3 ways you can essentially read manga. You have the free chapters, which are typically just the first 5 chapters of any given manga on their app. Mm-hmm. Then you've got the ability to purchase points. And depending on the chapter of each series, it varies in how much points it is. So a lot of what he was looking at with Rent a Girlfriend, most of the chapters are 69 points, save for the two newest. The two newest chapters are always 99 points. And I imagine like after a couple weeks they go down to 69. So there's that. And I will give them the benefit of doubt here. If you were to be exclusively a digital manga only kind of person and you wanted to have like a digital collection that you actually purchase yourself, this honestly isn't a bad way to go. It actually ends up being cheaper to do this than it would be to buy a physical book, especially because they have bundle deals for entire series where you can buy the entire series in one purchase and it makes it like another 20% off. So not bad for that. So I'll give him that. However, if you're trying to read manga for free on this app, it's basically impossible. The third way you can read chapters is, as Thane was alluding to with that little ticket thing, you get one free ticket a day to read a chapter. Now, this ticket can only work with specified chapters. There's only a group of chapters for any given series that you can use this ticket to read a chapter with. And you can only read one chapter with this one ticket. And that's pretty rough just in general. Now, the second thing, this is probably the worst part about K Manga with how predatory it can be. There's ways to get free coins. You can do quote unquote challenges, like one of them was earn 5 points by reading the first chapter of Attack on Titan. And you don't even have to read it. You can just like swipe through it until you get to the very end. And that's what I did to see how that worked. And I got my 5 free points from that. The second thing is the gacha system, where 3 times a day you can click the earn free points button and it'll pull up an ad. You sit through the ad. Once the ad is over, you can hit the little X button and then 3 little treasure chests will pop up and you pick one of those 3 treasure chests for a chance to win 50 points, but if you don't hit the 50 points, you get 5 points. So it's a 33% chance of getting 50 points and a 66% chance of getting 5 points. I did that 3 times and I got 5 points each time, so now I'm at a total of 20 points just from this alone. The other way that you can get free points is by doing something that feels like it's straight out of 2010 or even earlier, where you can sift through this list, download an app, and play a game to get to level 10. You can go to an online survey thing that if you fill out the survey, you get 20 points or so.
Freaking Facebook.
You can sign up for a credit card and get 100 points or something. Now, me being the person that I am, I was curious enough to try this out. And the new Rent a Girlfriend chapter came out, and I wanted to read it as a typical degenerate would. And I decided to see if I could earn 99 points so that I could read the newest chapter of Rent a Girlfriend. As you remember earlier, I have up to 40 points based on all the free points I've gotten, so I need another roughly 60 points essentially to get to the Rent a Girlfriend chapter. And so I start sifting through these survey things, and I do the first one I do. It works. I actually get points. I got 14 points from that, so I'm sitting at around 50-ish points, somewhere like that. And then for the next 30 to 45 minutes, I proceeded to keep trying to do different surveys, download different apps, and every time I would do something, it didn't work, and I didn't get the points. And yeah, I was unable to read my 2-minute long chapter after 45 minutes of grinding for literally nothing.
This is ridiculous, dude. It's like, I wonder if they just did all these different collaborations with all these brands and apps, and they're like, yo, let's do some back scratching here. Because in my brain anyway, at this point, there's no reason to put any money into K Manga as far as just buying the coins when you can get stuff on top of it, like this one.
It's literally counterintuitive when you can just literally buy a whole volume on like another app, like Bookwalker or something.
But what I'm saying though is like, why would you ever just buy coins when this one it's like buy a razor, get 943 coins. So it's like you're already going to spend the money anyway.
Yeah, might as well,
Well,
just
there's
buy
like
the
scams
manga.
there too. And
I'm
stuff,
sure
and
this is and all
look
of
at your
this.
data and whatnot.
All of this looks so scammy.
Just
dude.
buy if you're gonna do that, just buy a volume
But like
of manga.
I
Buy your volume.
I want to read. Why are they making so many
why are
walls
they
to
making a
jump through to
gacha
just let me
system
read?
for reading manga.
Yeah, I
This
don't
is-
want to play a game. I want to read.
This is terrible. Like, even if they like make a fee and it's like maybe a bit too much, like I don't know, $5.99 or something. Like,
Even
would you-
then, though, that's
Yeah, I would
to
still
me,
pay
that. Still
that.
sounds awesome.
yeah, like if it's way too high, like say $8 or $9 a month, it's like that's too high. It'd still be better than whatever the hell they're doing with this gotcha system.
So I don't have the best knowledge of this, but from what I understand, this the coin system specifically, just the purchasing and being able to use the coins to buy individual chapters. By the way, it adds up to roughly 75-ish cents per chapter, give or take. I mean, there's some less, some more, depending on if it's a newer chapter or not. But from what I understand, this little system is the equivalent to what they do in Japan, what Kodansha has on their app in Japan. It's essentially one for one the same thing. And the way their economic system and I guess social system is in Japan, it's very that's what they do. They put the money in, they get their coins, they buy the chapter for $1 or less essentially every time there's a new chapter of what they want to read.
You know, now that I think about it, since Viz does like the subscription service thing, Viz is American run. It's American.
100%, yeah. Kodansha is not.
This is a Japanese thing.
Yes.
So that's also the same with Manga Up from Square Enix. That's a Japanese run thing.
That reminds me. Earlier while we were at Taco Bell, you pointed out that Kodansha's manga and Manga Up also were mature rated. Well, if you remember, Manga Up has censorship.
Yeah.
Kodansha does as well. K Manga also has censorship as well. If you want to read Domestic Girlfriend, you don't get to see Rui's boobies. Sorry, everybody.
Don't read it
then.
It's pretty bad too. Like literally the first chapter of Domestic Girlfriend where Natsuo and Rui are banging. One of the panels is literally completely black except for their faces.
I gotta see this.
So yeah.
So I guess honestly, going back to what you said though, Cole, for somebody that's collecting digital, like they're trying to build up a digital library, this makes sense. And this is probably the model for you.
Personally, I would still go with the Bookwalker route. Granted, you don't get the chapters as they release like you would on K Manga, which is the benefit of it. But Bookwalker has so many more benefits for buying digitally. Like you get coins that you can spend on your next purchase.
Wait, they bang in the first chapter, or is it the latest chapter?
Literally the first chapter. Rui and Natsuo are banging. It's like literally a couple pages in.
Wow, so he gets the goal early.
Yeah, I mean, like, you got to read it at some point.
Yeah.
I can't explain.
I don't know.
Domestic
You guys
Girlfriend
always
here.
crap on it so hard.
I love Domestic Girlfriend.
I love it too. I just said I thought the ending was trash.
I'm literally on Rent a Girlfriend. Well, I keep getting those two mixed up. I know Domestic Girlfriend. There's just hard sex. But
Yeah, chapter 1, they're banging in Domestic
Thane,
Girlfriend.
there's no hard sex. It's just black panel.
Oh, yeah, excuse me. There's no sex. It's just faces going,
I guess my overall thoughts, I think this is really dumb. I hate the idea of having to play a game just so you can read. I just want to read.
Totally.
And obviously you can by just paying the money to do it. But for me personally, I don't collect digital manga. And if I'm going to spend money, I want to have the physical book.
Totally.
So I much prefer the subscription model where I pay money and I just get to read however I want, whenever I want.
There's two big issues with K Manga. And the reason why we all feel the way we do is because over the last month, they've been hyping up K Manga every single day on Twitter, posting a new screenshot of some manga panel with some edited text that says like K Manga's out in 32 days or whatever. And the second thing is that Viz... Oh, he found it.
Show me.
He found the Domestic Girlfriend.
God. That is so bad.
They're banging, Sky. Can't you see?
It's like they're like doing some kind of puppet show, but it's
You just get to see their faces. Let me see. Can you zoom
It's-
in, maybe? Oh, yeah, here we go.
It's
Let's see
kinda
how much
subtle.
this shows up on camera.
It's kind of subtle at first, but then you look and it's like, whoa, what the hell?
There's two heads
Hold
there.
on, I gotta make a thumbnail now.
I didn't notice it at first,
There
but
you
then
go.
I looked. Then I
You
looked.
did. I gave you a
Then I
face.
looked at it and I was like,
Oh,
that
wait, hold on.
that
I
is
gotta do a
so
better one. I don't know if it's zoomed out or not.
that is so unnatural.
I gave you two faces.
Thanks. Oh yeah, it's bad. The censorship in manga is pretty bad at times. Honestly though, like the third I guess thing I can add on to here is the fact that we are a Western, and I guess because this is
I
exclusive
uninstalled it.
to
This is garbage.
because this is exclusive to the United States at the moment, and we are in the United States economic and social system. And now that we have all these subscription services for manga, including on top of Crunchyroll, Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, everything's a subscription
Yeah.
service, especially here in the West. And so it only makes sense that the manga should be as well. And that's why, in my opinion, Viz is doing such a great job with what they're doing. And so it's just silly to see Kodansha one-for-one copy their Japanese system and then put it into an American audience.
It's not gonna go well. Like
it doesn't work.
Yeah, they already know about like predatory microtransactions. They already hate that hard, and like
And like the actual microtransactions of this are not predatory in my opinion.
yeah,
It's the trying to get free coins.
Yeah.
That's the predatory system in my
Like,
opinion.
yeah, people aren't gonna like it. They already hate microtransactions and how much they cost already.
Well,
So
to me, this doesn't even look like a manga app, though. I click on it, and it looks
Totally.
like I'm trying to play a game.
yeah,
Or it's an app store. It's like you click on this, and then you got 50 other apps that you can download.
Yeah.
That said, like there is one aspect of it that I do like that I thought was clever. When you open it up and then go to the serialized tab on the bottom, it goes through every single day and it shows you like which chapters come out which days.
I like that.
I thought that was cool.
I think Viz should have something like that.
I agree.
Yeah. Or have a release calendar. I would love to have them have a
or a
release
calendar.
I think like I wonder what Shueisha does. I know they have Shonen Jump Plus, and I wonder if they do like
A subscription or something.
a subscription for
They
something.
probably do because you could subscribe to Weekly Shonen Jump, the actual magazine, and have it delivered to your house. I believe,
Yeah.
right?
Well,
I mean, I'm
within
assuming.
the limits. Well, like in Japan. Well, yeah, obviously, but like not anywhere outside.
Yeah,
of
yeah,
Japan.
just in
Yeah.
Japan, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, like it's like just a magazine subscription service, and
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the app would be just a subscription based thing. But I don't know, man. It's just kind of like they're out of touch with how people consume manga, how they want to ideally consume manga.
It maybe at least in the Western, though.
Yeah, the
it
West,
sounds like
maybe.
in Japan, that's how they
It sounds
do
like
it.
this is how they do it in Japan, and it's just it works for them because buying of the one chapter a week of their show is fine. And honestly, paying $1 for one chapter a week honestly isn't that bad. I dislike having to purchase coins and not just like, here's my $1, let me have the chapter. But
Yeah.
that's just the way app systems are.
Well,
You can't not do that with the way these Google Play stores and Apple Store or App Store from Apple it works. That's why Fortnite got into so much trouble
Yeah.
with it.
Yeah, it's
also,
like there's-
I think on like Bookwalker and like Comixology, all those, like they'll drop a chapter and you have to pay like $1 or something for
Yeah.
it, like 99 cents.
Mm-hmm.
They've done that for a while. No one's really complained.
Yeah, and
But-
that's essentially what this is.
Yeah.
It's just it's shrouded with all of this other bad things
Yeah.
that make it look bad. Granted, I would not want to pay $1 per chapter of Rent a Girlfriend. I adore the series, but I'm willing to drop it if I've got to pay $1 for every single chapter as it comes out.
Yeah. Also, I'm a guy who like either you just give me free chapters or I just wait till the volume comes out and I buy
Exactly,
it.
yeah.
I don't understand why not just give both options like Viz does. You can buy the volumes, or you can do the subscription, or you could do both.
Viz even lets you read the newest chapters for free.
Yeah, they got free
It's
chapters
insane.
on there. It's like, hey, you want the 3 free latest chapters? Here you go.
If this app
Yeah.
wasn't already dead on arrival, Viz literally killed it by releasing
Yeah.
their extra app the day before. Like, it's insane.
Well, here's my thing too, though, is I feel like Viz understands that, hey, people that read digital manga, more often than not, will probably buy the physical release if they really like it. I mean, how many series have you guys read digitally and you're like, I really like it, I want to collect it physically?
Tons.
Yeah,
tons.
I've done it several
I
times.
haven't done it yet, though. I might do it with one show someday.
The final thing that I have on this as well is going back to what I was saying, how if you do want a digital collection of these manga, and I think this is a viable way to do it. That said, I would not want to purchase Domestic Girlfriend like this because I would have a censored version of it. That's not cool. If I'm paying for it, I don't want to have a censored version of something I'm paying for.
Maybe
That's
you're
stupid.
maybe you're like me and you get Domestic Girlfriend and Reddit Girlfriend totally mixed up.
But Rent a Girlfriend would be censored too. There's definitely
Yeah.
chapters in there that probably
like
would be censored.
The infamous cucking chapter.
I don't know if
like-
they'd censor that, but probably
Isn't
because you see a boner through his pants.
Yeah, isn't there a scene where she's like getting railed in the
It's in his
backside?
imagination.
Mm.
But
He's
doesn't
like-
it kind of
he's
show
all-
like cleavage and like
Yeah, totally. In
It
the
would
in the
probably- it would
volumized
probably-
version, you would see nipples.
in the black.
'Cause that's how it is in the. Skylar's got most of them at this point. He's got nips in there.
Oh, yeah, you see
in that
Chizuru's
manga
nipples.
app, I'm pretty sure they black out some of that.
They would block it
Yeah.
out. Yeah, totally.
But yeah, it's
That
like
that NTR chapter, when people start getting like pictures of it from the K Manga app,
yeah.
people are gonna go even more so into it.
I just think that censorship like this is silly because like Viz Media, they saw it's like, okay, the chapter's too violent, or like
We'll just put it on the website.
yeah, put it on the
instead.
website.
That's the perfect solution.
No additional charge. And you can even pull up a web browser on your phone to
Totally.
still read it. It's
Yep.
like it's simple.
Man, I really am disappointed though. 'Cause
But I remember the reason both K Manga and Square Enix do it. Sorry to interrupt, but the reason they do it is for like I think like
The App Store stuff.
and
Restrictions.
China
Oh,
and like other countries that
Yep,
like
other
have
countries and
heavy
stuff, yep.
heavy restrictions on this.
That makes sense because a lot of those countries that would block this kind of stuff
Yeah.
have things like Netflix and Twitter blocked on the App
Yeah,
Store because
yeah.
that would also show nudity. Anyway, sorry, Sky.
I was just really disappointed because Cole and I were talking last night, literally last night before we went to bed, just how Kodansha has a really good opportunity to do something really cool. And I remember saying to him, I said, I will be shook if they don't do a subscription model.
Well, remember what I said as well? I said if they don't have a subscription model planned and they saw what Viz Manga did, they need to change everything literally right now and everybody work overtime to get it going so it's ready to go. But then they didn't.
Yeah.
Instead we got a gotcha game.
We got a
Literally.
weird gotcha
And
game.
the worst part about it, though, is I am, and I can speak for these guys as well because we've had this conversation already, but we're more than willing to pay to read manga legitly instead of having to pirate it. But I just want to pay $1 for every chapter.
It makes sense. Doesn't Kodansha own like Psy Games or something, like one of the big gotcha games? I know
I
they
don't
do
know.
gotcha games.
Side note, is there a manga that you would be willing to pay $1 per chapter because you like it that much?
Probably Vinland Saga.
Chainsaw Man.
Vinland Saga is on there. It's like
I wouldn't pay $1 for Chainsaw Man. It's too short.
yeah.
I'd
that's
pay
like-
$1 for like a monthly manga. I'd pay $1 for Boruto. nobody
dollar
take that
was
one out. Nobody just cut that out. The viewer's gonna
That's a
roasted
clip.
me.
That's a clip. Let me look through my stuff really quick.
If it's a
I'm
monthly
curious.
manga, I probably would because the chapters are longer and I just feel like I get more content. And like I don't know, it just feels more quality in my opinion. Everybody's just staring at their phones. I'm over here trying to like.
sorry, I want to look this up.
Spy Family would be another one.
Oh, you'd pay $1 for Spy. That's like
Oh.
bi-weekly, right?
Yes.
Dude, I'd pay $1 for Oshido Ko.
That's
I would pay
another one.
$1 for Oshino. I would have paid $1 for Kaguya-sama as well when that was coming out too. Every week.
Yeah, it's God, I don't know. And like to me, I thought that literally last night I went to bed thinking, thank God I can just delete all my manga apps and have 3 of them. The Kodansha, the Shonen Jump, and the Viz one. And then I could just read everything that I'm currently reading. Well, no, not anymore because
Oh, holy
Kodansha app
crap!
sucks.
K Manga bad. Then you got your revelation.
I think they might have Azure Lane.
Well, anyway, while Thane's looking that up, let's just do a quick brief thing of the shows that we're watching for this season, because we've kind of talked K Manga to death, and we're just right about the halfway mark. I'll just briefly say that I dropped 2 shows. I dropped the 2 shows that I said I was planning on dropping, essentially. I dropped Insomniacs After School. Thought it was boring. Don't at me. Don't get mad at me either. Well, get mad at me if you feel like I don't really care.
Oh.
And then I also dropped...
You also threw that in the pile with the freaking vampire one called.
Yeah. It's
both
just like...
Insomniac
Sorry,
ones.
they just can't sleep at night. So I don't relate. I sleep pretty good. The other thing I dropped was Galaxy Next Door. Now this one I actually think can probably be a pretty good one. It's just not for me. It's just way too slow paced. We're talking like, hey, you're cute, but like, I love you, and the guy goes, whoa, and then that's the episode. Next episode, I kind of like you too. Maybe we should start going out. Okay. And then that's it. That's the episode. That's where I stopped. I stopped watching after that. I'm like, okay, nothing's happening. The characters sucked in that show, but everything else was great. It was very pretty. The animation that was great, but I dropped those shows.
I just have one that I want to talk about today that I actually didn't start watching when we first started this season.
Oh shoot!
This was a Luke recommendation.
Oh,
because he said, well, it was from Boober. So
is it the trash isekai?
It's called Kamikatsu: Working for a God in a Godless World. So the first 2 episodes is just like really wacky. You're just like, what the heck's going on?
Wacky, the freaking CG abomination.
The CG abominations that they have are really bad. And in the latest episode, they're farming now and they have machines, but it's like they went out and literally just filmed actual farm equipment, and then they just put like that painting
filter over it, and they put the guy. I saw it, and they put the anime character's face over the.
Then they just put his face
head.
over top of the person.
Yeah,
and I'm just like,
what the hell is
must
this?
Know.
They have to. Yeah, but like you see that, you see all the bad CGI. What a wacky story!
Like that's something like a crazy gag manga would do. It's like, let's go build a house, and then suddenly they have real people building a house.
Yeah, so it's like really wacky like that. But then the last 2 episodes, they're just like, we're gonna show you some banger fight scenes, and then have a little bit of story to kind of hook you. And I'm just like, what? I literally told Thick, I was like, dude, this is just hot garbage. I'm gonna drop it. I watched episode 4, and I literally typed to him. I said, bro, this last episode was a banger, and he's like, I know.
It's kind of like this pretty. I don't know if this is the same thing. It kind of is, but it's kind of like the episode of South Park where Mr. Garrison was getting a sex change between Mrs. Garrison. They just cut to actual live raw footage of a sex change. It's like, what the hell?
Kind of
on TV.
What it reminded me
broadcasted on TV.
What it reminded me of was some of the weird, wacky animations.
Bochi?
That they do in Bochi. Obviously, Bochi does it a lot better, but this show is very self-aware of how quirky it is, and it's funny at times. The action scenes are really cool, and I'm getting invested in the story now. So it went from literally me dropping it to like, dang, this was pretty fun. I look forward to it. So, yeah.
Thane, tell us about one before you send us to break.
So the new trash. I don't know if it's trash. It's just really disappointing, but it's connected to something I really like. That's why I felt more disappointing. It's the freaking Ranking of Kings. Search for the Sacred Treasure, whatever it is, because it's just filler. Like, all it really is just filler. It's like, here's what happened in between these episodes, and then they had the last one they had like a backstory to a character, which we already explored in the anime. It's like, here's an extended cut of the backstory. It's like, I already know this. There's nothing new to add. I am so disappointed. I thought we were getting a goofy little side quest with Boji and Kage, but no, it's just filler, and I'm so disappointed.
Is it like take place during the anime, or like is it a post thing?
No, it's like, here's the thing, it's like story of the week, so it's like, oh hey, that time Boji and Kage and all these knights were traveling the desert, they found these weird animals. It's like, or when Queen Healing recruited her friend to help defend the castle, it's like, here's how she did it. It's like, this is okay, it's not really compelling me. Like, I don't really care. And it's like, and then like the last episode, it's like, hey, here's the extended cut of Oaken's, what's his name? Well, anyway, here's the extended cut of this guy's backstory. It's like, I already know this. There's nothing new, no new information. It's like, it's cool, I guess, for a short film, but I don't know. It's nothing new, and
That's too bad.
Yeah, and it's just filler for like when they do season 2, which hopefully is soon. But I think maybe they're doing this, and it's like next year, season 2. It's like, yeah, still want to read the manga. That stupid app that Sky told me about, like they changed the ad system, and instead of having different ads, they had like mobile game ads, and it's like, this is annoying. I don't want to do this anymore, and deleted it.
Oof.
So
What app was it?
it's called
Is it the Manga Reader?
yeah, Manga Reader.
That's the one I'm on right now.
Oh, it's awful. I hated it. So I deleted it. It's like, I'll just look all these up on a web browser. And
Yeah, getting manga from not the actual apps is not fun.
yeah, it sucks.
And sometimes from the actual app's not fun too.
Yeah. So, and a funny thing in my mind, I thought I was going to drop 2 shows, but it's like, but I really like these shows, even though I read the manga, and it was both Hell's Paradise and Heavily Delusion, but I was like, nah, these are too fun. Because I was going to drop them saying, I already read the manga, but then it's like, but they're so good.
And the animation's so good.
Yeah. It's like, nah, if I'm going to drop anything, it's not these 2 shows. I like these shows.
What's funny is the 2 shows that I dropped were ones that I've already read the manga. Well, I haven't
Yeah.
dropped Magus Bride yet, but I'm just like,
That's
well, it's like I'm watching it and like falling asleep because I already know what happens. So
Yeah.
like to me, that should be like, okay, time to drop it.
The thing about Heavily Delusion, I already know what happens. Like, haha, I remember this scene. So much fun. Like, see, that's a good adaptation.
See, and that's how it was with
Yeah.
Chainsaw Man. I never once did not look forward to watching
Yeah.
Chainsaw Man.
I guess Magus Bride is like a one story. It's like, I read it, that was good, and then you try to watch it, it's like, yeah.
Been here, done that.
Yeah. It's maybe kind of like trying to watch Naruto even though you read the manga. It's like, wow, this is just the manga but with filler. But yeah, anyways, that's my shows. I guess Surprise, I guess it'd be Dangerous in My Heart. I do like the writing. It's goofy. It's wacky. It keeps me entertained every week.
I'm still on it.
Yeah. I thought I'd drop it, but no, it's like just fun. I like the writing. There's especially that horny kid who I knew some kids like that in high school. He just like would talk. That one kid just talks every time about sex, and it's like, bro, what's your problem? It's not the main character. It's a blonde-haired kid.
The door's
It's
over
like,
there, buddy.
yeah, it's like, you get out. Yeah. Good season. Really good season so far. Also, oh yeah, the show I said I wouldn't be surprised if it got a live action adaptation is My Home Hero. It's like, I'm kind of surprised it wasn't a live action adaptation. I'd like to see it as an HBO show. It's got pretty good so far.
It could work.
Yeah. It reminds me of like Breaking Bad for some reason, or that show that Bryan Cranston was in, Your Honor. It's pretty good. I think it would work better as live action because the animation's pretty subpar. Like, it's just like budget. It's like just budget animation, but so that's why it probably worked better as live action because like they can do low budget stuff and bring the story in, that like film the whole story in live action would probably work better. But yeah, anyways, I've talked enough. Let's go to break, and we will jump after the jump we will talk about Kids on the Slope.
Why are you laughing at that?
I don't know. He was snickering too.
Guy.
In my head, I was just like, oh, another one? Oh, another one. Oh, he's going to do his whole list.
Yeah, I said only do like 1 or 2. I actually said 1, I think.
You said
Dang
one.
thing.
Nah, I only did like 2 or 3. I didn't talk
You
about
did like
everything.
4. All right, we'll be right back. See you guys in a bit. Bye.
Hey, welcome back to the show.
Hello.
My
Hi.
homeboys.
How are you?
Cold.
So today we're going to talk about a show called Kids on the Slope, which is MAPPA's first show
Ever.
That's crazy because this was in 2012, I believe.
It looks good.
MAPPA was formed in 2011 by a former Madhouse founder, from one of the co-founders of Madhouse. And so it's already coming from a great studio, and so this is their first one, which is pretty good. It's directed by Shinichiro Watanabe, the guy who did Cowboy Bebop. Music by Yoko Kanno, also Cowboy Bebop.
Music slaps, dude.
Yeah. Yoko Kanno is one of the best composers. And it's got a unique time period. It's set in the 1960s Japan.
Took me a while to realize that, by the
Yeah.
way. When they started talking about like the war, I was just like, "What?
Yeah.
Are we talking about that war?" Yeah, we were. We were talking about that.
I think
war.
it's 1966.
Something like something like that.
And it's just like when Japanese people were kind of like, jazz wasn't really well known, but there's one guy who's like collects all the jazz, and some people are like, wow, what's this jazz stuff?
I think the giveaway for me was I didn't see any phones, so I was like, huh.
Yeah,
I didn't pick up on that.
It's usually like a payphone or a phone in their house.
After I realized the time period, though, I did pick up on that. Though. Yeah, especially like when people were like running away, and they're like, where are these people? We can't get a hold of them. It's like, oh, yeah, it makes sense.
Nice.
But I want to ask, what do you guys think about the show?
I really, really liked the characters. I really enjoyed some of the themes and the overall plot. I thought the ending was kind of out of place. Part of it, anyway. And then, other than that, I really liked it. I gave it a 9.
I thought it was mediocre. I didn't think it was like anything to write home about, but it was still fun and enjoyable.
Wow, that's... Okay.
How is that harsh? I just said it was middle. Like, I didn't say, okay, want me to say it? I'll say it. It was mid.
Wow. Okay.
How dare you say the M word on our podcast?
I gave it an 8 if you're actually curious
That's
about
not
my numbers.
mediocre. That's...
It was better than some of the trash that I've seen, but it wasn't as good as Your Lie in April.
Totally.
I thought it was way better than Your Lie in April, in my opinion.
Really? No.
Yeah.
Your Lie's a
million
10.
Better.
I gave Kids on the Slope a 9.
When I watched it, I didn't I liked it, but I didn't feel the same things I did with Kids on the Slope.
I think it's just different. It's because this one, we should give a brief summary, and then we can go into what we like and what we dislike about it. If you want to give a brief summary.
So it's about this kid named
Richie.
Yeah. His name's Kaoru something, but he's got a nickname, which I'll explain later, and he goes to a new school, and he's always had to move, and he's moved to a smaller seaside town school. And then he meets this delinquent kid named Centauro. And he's like, "Oh, you're one of the rich kids. I'll call you Richie." Like,
it's clever. He's clever.
And then he meets another girl named Richan, yeah.
Isn't it Ritsuko?
Ritsuko, yeah. And they kind of form a friendship together through jazz, because Ritsuko's dad owns a record shop which mostly sells jazz, and he's got a basement that plays jazz music. They play jazz music under there, and every time they play jazz, they rotoscoped it to be perfect with the music, and that's like some of my favorite parts of the show.
Honestly, that was one of my big notes as far as the drumming went. They did a really good job of making it look like he was actually playing drums.
Yeah. So I thought it was good. Watching it again, I thought, wow, this is a enjoyable anime. So, and I think this is probably one of my favorite music themed ones and favorite slice of life. I just thought it was when I watched it back, mostly because I'm a fan of the Watanabe's works. When I watched it, I was like, hey, this is my kind of stuff. And I still think it holds up pretty well from back when I watched it back in like 2012, or not 2012, it was like 2014 I think when I watched it. So yeah, and I guess to jump into the part where like it doesn't make sense to these guys, where he just up and abandons Sentaro up and abandons everyone at the end. It's like, yeah, it's kind of a reckless thing to do.
I think
Yeah.
personally that was the worst part of the entire show.
Yeah, I agree.
Makes
it's
zero
like-
sense to
yeah,
his
he's
character
like-
at all.
He's like a family man, and then he just does what his dad does. Like,
Well,
he,
literally the whole
Yeah.
his whole arc is, dang, my dad sucks.
yeah,
Bad dad, he left us for no reason. Dad finally comes back. He can't accept it. Then he does what his dad does. And it's just like, bro. And then that's
Yeah.
the end. So you don't get to see the resolution to his arc anyway, other than he becomes a priest. Like, cool, but that doesn't tell me anything.
I know, and see, they try to mask it by just having that fun little reunion amongst the
Yeah.
characters where they play the music together, and I'm like,
Cool.
it's awesome, but
yeah.
I'm not
good.
letting it up.
Up.
Yeah.
Literally. Yes, totally. Worst part of the whole show.
Because to me, anyway, at that
Well,
point though,
I got another thing I don't like as well.
at that point up to there, it was like, okay, well, his dad came back, he faced him, okay, he's over it.
It was like an episode
Yeah.
before he decided
Yeah,
to run away.
I know. And there, to me anyway, there was just like there was no build up to him leaving, because he tried to leave prior, and then Richie caught him, and he's like, bro, you're not doing this. As a good friend
Yeah.
should.
Totally.
But then he just leaves anyway. It's just
Yeah.
like, what the
I have some I have like, I don't know if it's a theory, or I guess I have like I guess I could understand the reason why he wanted to leave. Like, one part, he felt guilty for getting getting in a wreck with his sister on the bike.
Sure.
But also, like, wouldn't that also kind of spur you to be like, oh, I should take care of my family?
Exactly,
100%.
yeah.
That's why I don't think that works.
Everything that he's done up to that point, though, he's always faced the adversity, accepted it, and moved on.
100%.
But at this point, it was like, I don't know. I'll get into it because I really, really like Sentaro's character, and I want to talk about that. But it seems like you got something you want to go over.
Yeah, I want to talk about Junichi. Brother June. Terrible character. Worst character in the whole show.
Yeah.
Absolute trash of a person. Has no redeeming qualities. And then he bangs some chick.
That was only there to give some drama for
Between Centauro and the girl. Yep.
That was it.
100%.
Because it was another, like, because you kind of got the love triangle thing going on where Sen likes her, and then Ri-chan likes Sen, but Richie likes Ri-chan. And then to me anyway, it was like, well, let's just throw it in there. But also the other connection, not only was it his girl, but Sen looked up to Brother June as like a role model.
Totally.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. Why? Because he's a bad person.
Bad person.
But to me,
Well-
I think that Sen didn't really see that. He
only
sees
saw the good side.
he
sure.
only sees Brother June as the well-dressed jazz player.
Totally.
And that's it.
And that's fine. I think it worked. That's why. That's the only reason it worked. Is
Yeah.
because Sen looked up to him as a role model, just like you said. And then he's the one that takes his girlfriend, and so it's like perfect. But still, you make this character likable. But then I think the reason why I hate him even more is because at the end they try to play it off like he's a good person. Like, it's okay. It's
Yeah.
okay that he was just a douchebag the entire time.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, no, it's not okay. He has to have an arc for him to be a good person. He can't just be
Well-
like, all right, we made him a good
Well, it
person
kind
now.
of did have an arc through still images. They had that flashback.
so
through
bad.
Yeah.
That's pretty dumb.
Like, that's the part where they shortcut it. It's like, hey, here's his past through his still images. That's
Sure.
why he's depressed.
I understand
Yeah.
it. That's fine.
I kind
And
like
that's what makes an interesting, I guess, villain, for lack of a better words, because
Yeah.
essentially he fills that role as a villain.
Yeah.
But they did the
Well-
redemption arc, but without the arc. They just did the redemption and called it a day.
I don't know. Well, actually, I think they tried to make the villains the parents of the other girl. 'Cause,
Well,
like,
I
yeah.
mean, if they're an antagonist, they're a villain. So
Yeah.
I just use the word villain loosely. It could just be antagonist if you like. Brother June's an antagonist. There's no
guess.
ifs, ands, or but.
And
he is an antagonist to Sen,
The
essentially.
thing with him though too is he only popped up every once in a while.
Totally.
And then they
Yeah.
just made a whole big portion about it where in my head I'm like, we've got to see more of this guy.
He's this
if you're
side character, and then they give him 2 episodes with this girl that you also don't really care about.
No.
You
Yeah.
care about you care about her more than him because you saw them save her from the people that the older guys or whatever,
Yeah.
and you're like, cool, this is great. Then they went on the date, and you're like, cool, this is great. She's a cool girl. And then you get Brother June's 2 episodes, and she's just there for the 2 episodes, and then they're gone on a train.
I love how she just falls in love with him instantly too. She just sees him once and
It's like
she's
he's
like,
the bad boy, so
she's
she's
like,
into it.
oh,
Yeah.
And they make
Hi.
out in the basement.
oh my gosh. Yeah, I didn't really like that, but the part that I really liked, and I think this is the pinnacle of the whole show, is Sentaro and Richie's relationship. I didn't really care. Like, Richie and Richan's relationship was fine. Like, it's always there, and it's kind of fun to see them grow. And she definitely changes because she likes Sentaro in the beginning, but then hangs out with Richie a lot more and starts to like him. But Richie and Sentaro's relationship to me was just so much fun because it was so relatable. It's like, this is how guys would act.
No. This is a BL.
See, and I thought,
This is disguised as a BL, 100%.
this is a
I
show-
guarantee that was probably the intent originally.
and
Well,
There's
this is
so
this is
many
based
things.
off a shoujo. This is a shoujo manga, so
after the
yeah.
first episode, I went and talked to Thane. I was like, Thane, what are we watching?
So let me read my notes. I'm gonna read my notes. I'm
I
gonna
didn't
go
say
in
this. I
order.
swear it's not that kind of show.
So my first note says, "Damn, bro, this guy defo gay, right? Like, kill some kids for a key just to give it to a dude he just met." And then I keep going down. We keep going down. We got, I know there's more. Hold on. Where is it? Right here. Sen. Oh no, that's just him running away. Yeah, that's all I'll say. Sen running away was pretty dumb. Other than that, I like how it went. It was very much so a BL in disguise. And I swear I had one more about it being a BL, but like, gosh, dude, it totally was a BL. The relationship was clearly the focus between the 2 dudes, and it was a good, close, brotherly-esque relationship. But every now and then I was just like, they're gonna kiss?
It's just
Like,
because
maybe they could.
They
should
give you
maybe.
those weird holding on their faces for too long scenes where you're
Totally.
just like,
Yep.
But to me anyway, like, of course you could say that. Obviously, other than those still shots and holding on their faces way too long, you don't really get that vibe between their relationship.
Oh, I did. I definitely got
What
that
I
vibe
really
from
liked
relationship.
is that they fought like brothers. They acted like normal guy
Yeah,
friends
totally.
would.
Totally.
But
I agree to that. But I still got the vibes. There was times I was going kiss.
Don't worry. The author or whatever said, "Oh, those 2 aren't gay. Here's a gay kid."
yeah,
Or at least, dude, he was probably my favorite character.
Yeah.
I love how much he was just into the Beatles.
Yeah.
I
And then it's
I
like,
have a quote from
let's play
him.
the spiders. It's like, what about the Beatles?
I have
Yeah,
this
they go-
quote from him. He goes, "You silly little sea scavenger." It killed me, dude. I love that guy. Oh, so funny.
And at the end, he became an actual pop idol.
Yeah, dude, good for him. He got the
Yeah.
biggest dub in the whole show.
So I wanted to talk a little bit about Sentaro's character because as each episode progressed, I kept adding to my notes because I started with, he's such a dynamic character. He's an outcast. He's a troublemaker.
Yeah.
He's a...
Wait, how's that dynamic? He's just the delinquent.
Hold on, I gotta keep going.
I'm
We're
sorry.
making
I'm
notes.
sorry.
So I kept adding to it. He's an outcast and troublemaker. He's a Christian jazzy drummer boy and a
Yeah.
big brother. And then we learn he had a crappy life.
He's
And
basically a dad, too.
it's like we just kept learning about Sentaro and how he, once again, to me though, seeing his character makes the ending so much worse because he really is such a good character. And the more we learn about him, you're like, my God, this guy's just awesome. And then he just poops at the end. He
Yeah.
just takes a big old dumpy in his
Dude,
pants.
it's just so sad for the character that built up just to drop him all of a sudden. I felt hurt. I was
Yeah.
like, dang,
Yeah.
they did that to this guy. It's so bad.
So the other thing that was very relatable for me throughout watching this, and I wrote, I know exactly what it's like to have a girl you like one of your homies. It's a
Yeah.
sick feeling in your stomach. Because
He just looks at that painting. It's like, well, I lost.
well, no,
No,
I'm
not
talking
that.
about Richie and
Richie and
Richan.
Ritsuko.
Oh,
Yeah, Ritsuko.
oh,
Because it was like he confesses to her, and she's like, I like somebody else, and you know who it is. It's like, oh my god, why does it have to be him?
Kudos to Richie actually confessing by episode 3, I think it was.
Yeah.
And then he went full board and went for the kiss in episode like 5 or 6.
Yeah.
Dude, Richie, you're a forgettable character, but damn, did you do some cool stuff here and there. Like, no joke. You were really good every now and then.
Yeah.
Other than that, I feel like his character was underdeveloped.
Totally.
There was a lot of like clear like background trauma they wanted to do with his character. They just didn't do it. Like, they have all this like drama between his family members. His dad's never home. His mom shows up for an episode, and then you never hear or see her ever again. Even though they set it up like they're going to, like they're like, remember this song, and like someday we'll play it together, and that could be cool. But then they don't. And then his aunt being like this antagonistic force in his life, that doesn't even get resolved. So I thought his character was just unfortunate too, and he was the main character. That's why I was sad.
He was the main character, but Sen gets most of the development.
Sen felt more like the main character as a result, but Richie was. I mean, we're seeing it from his perspective, so it's his story still.
Yeah. Just the last few thoughts that I had. I love the music. The older I've gotten, the more I've fallen in love with jazz. So to get that throughout this whole show is just super fun. I believe that all the titles of the episodes were jazz songs.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the last thing that I just thought was very fun is I haven't really seen an anime up to this point that had that type of relationship that Richie and Sen had. It was really fun, and it was very human. It was very relatable.
Have you not watched Naruto? Jeez. Sasuke and Naruto, are you kidding me? They kissed in episode 4.
You're right. You're right.
I'm just kidding. I don't mean to diminish it.
No, it's just fun though, because it's like a brotherly friendship or brotherly friends friendship,
Totally.
that their relationship that they have. And of all the anime I've seen, I don't think I've seen it done that well.
I agree. That is definitely true. It's definitely, they portray it very, very well, and it is like they would just do anything for each other. I mean, as you see them do. I mean, right away, he freaking kills some kids for a key.
Yeah, literally beats him up after he pulls the sheet off of him very sexually and
they
looks
do that
into his
4
eyes.
times.
I know, they kept coming back to it.
They were gonna bone right there. If this was a different story, they were boning, guaranteed.
Yeah.
What about the slope? What do you guys think about the kids on the slope?
Oh, I just thought it was dumb. It was clever that they kept bringing it back up, but it had no actually reason for the story.
I have to walk up this damn slope.
Yeah, like there was
day.
a little bit of like interesting thing, but it was mostly for Richie, and Richie's character was underdeveloped anyway, so it didn't really matter in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, I guess to me, what they were trying to do with that anyway, which is very on the nose, is like Richie climbs up the mountain by himself and it blows, but then he gets to run down it with a friend.
Yep.
That was
And it was for Richie's character, and his character wasn't done. So, the final thing I wanted to just talk about was just the animation and the cinematography in general. And as this being MAPPA's first, I feel like it's going to be an interesting thing to critique. I think the cinematography outshone the animation just in general. I think the cinematography was extra at times, and one scene specifically, it was a little cheesy, but it worked super well in my opinion. It's when that one girl that paints was drawing the picture of Sen, or painting the picture of Sen, and she paints the teardrop on him, and then she pulls her hand away, and you look at the face, and then it cuts to Sen's face after they got into a fight, and so you can see his same eye that had the tear was hurt. So that alone is already a parallel, because it's literally the painting of him. But because of the fight, the reason for it was, well, like they were arguing with each other. I don't remember quite all the context of it, but there were some kind of arguments with each other, and like there's some internal like psychological drama at the moment, and so it also correlated with the eye drop, like the tear, because he was crying, but he's not actually crying. It just worked really, really well. And then they cut right back to that same painting as well, and so the back and forth, it was just really, really good. Great cinematography. As for the animation itself, I was very, very mixed on it. At times, it looks like a Ghibli film. It looks like you're literally watching Totoro or Spirited Away or what's it called? The Wind Rises or something.
Saved all the budget for those music scenes.
It's beautiful. Beautiful at times. But every time they did a close-up on their face, I hated it. I was not a fan of the way their shading was on their faces. Not a big fan at all. But other than that, like, it was pretty dang good. So those are my critiques and my praises for MAPPA on their first endeavor.
I guess I didn't even notice the face close-ups because usually there was a lot of sexual tension there. It's hard to see through it all.
I guess that's true. Yeah. There's a big wall of it, but like I don't know. It was just the shadings, and it was mostly the faces. It was all throughout, but the faces is where I noticed it the most. Was the shading was just kind of weird.
Well, it's really fun to see that's where they started to what we get now.
Totally.
It's just like, wow, it's incredible how far they've come.
So overall, like I said, I give it an 8. I think it definitely is relatively mid, but like it's better than most mid shows.
What the fuck does that even mean? I hate this Zoomer talk. Sorry I swore, but I gotta say, like, it's mid, 8 out of 10. What the hell does that mean?
The cinematography was Kino. It was absolute Kino.
Fire. It was fire.
No, that's too old. You're old. It's Kino now.
Oh, God.
It's cinema.
Then I think mid is short for middle.
It's like, I don't know.
Mid, I think it's like, when I think
not good,
mid,
not great.
when you're doing on a 10 scale, it's...
Not bad, not
I think
great.
of it between a 4 to 6 range. Like, that's mid to me.
You don't even do numbers, though.
Yeah, because that's why I hate it. I hate that. So
maybe mid is better. To me, an 8 is in the upper echelons of anime.
I give it a recommend.
I give it an 8 in number scale because I think it's good. I don't think it's phenomenal, and I don't think it's bad, so I think it's mid. I don't know what else to say.
That's terrible.
I think you're fine.
I don't like it.
Okay, I understand, but you don't like numbers either. This is all a very subjective thing what we're talking about here.
Kind of like how I thought this show is better than Your Lie in April, but I haven't seen Your Lie in April in a long time. So.
That's fine. I haven't seen either for a while either. I just related to it better and liked it better.
Well, maybe because I can't stand tsundares, Your Lie in April has 2 of them, so there you go.
Wait.
Yes, it has 2 of them.
Kaori's not a tsundere.
Yes, she is.
No, she's not.
You need to rewatch it.
You need to rewatch it.
I remember she's a...
The friend is more tsundere.
Subami is.
They're both. They are both.
No.
Kaori's not a
Yes,
not a
they
tsundere.
are. I remember they are.
She's not a tsundere. She is a liar. There's a difference, okay?
That's a tsundere. That's a tsundere in my book. Are you kidding me?
She's not going, I hate you, but I
Baka.
love you, Baka.
That's lying to your feelings. That's a tsundere.
She has to lie, and you need to rewatch it.
She never once lied to
better.
her feelings. She never once lied about her feelings. She just didn't say her feelings.
That's a tsundere.
No, it is not.
Oh my God. Are you serious?
Well, I think the arguing, I think, will be done.
We don't have a show next week or 2 weeks from now. 2 weeks from now, we're going to be doing our manga 3x3s.
Yeah.
So we don't have this is like a free time. Go do free time.
Go
now
catch up. Go catch up on all your weeklies.
I got to catch up on some of mine, so
Yeah.
this works out pretty well. But
I'm probably a cop on the HME just bride.
oh, you were watching that one too?
Probably. Well,
Oh.
I haven't started yet, but I'll probably get caught up with it.
Oh, that's cool. I
Yeah.
thought Sky was the one doing that one.
Well, I'm dropping it, so. I've already read the manga. It's fine.
But yeah, so we're doing our manga 3x3s in 2 weeks. There's no Pokemon this next week. And then after our manga 3x3s, we'll be doing Suzume. So you have until now, and literally a month from now, to essentially watch Suzume. So look forward to that. Look forward to our manga 3x3s. And after Suzume, Skylar picks the next episode. So in, 6 weeks from now, we'll get to watch Skylar's show. So look forward to that as well. We'll be done with the season by then, so we probably won't be doing yours right after. Right after our Suzume episode, it's probably going to be the end of the season.
We'll plan it out,
review.
so when the Suzume episode hits, you guys will know.
You'll know. We'll be for sure on that one. But yeah, look forward to all those.
Yeah.
Would you like to close this thing?
Yeah. Thanks for watching. Sorry, guys. I'll pick a better show next time.
I loved it,
this
Thane.
show's not bad.
It was good.
This isn't freaking. We're not watching Be the Beginning.
Yeah, screw the guy that picked that one.
That is a bad show.
Yeah, we're not watching Afro Samurai.
Yeah, I'll give you that one too. After Samurai wasn't great. This
Actually,
show's good. This show's
I
very
like
good.
this
Watching
show.
that, I knew it was going to be bad, but I didn't know it was going to be that bad.
I liked this music show better than the one you picked. I don't even remember the name. Talked, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I liked this one better than Talked too, but I liked the premise of Talked better. It just didn't work very well, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Have a good life, everybody. We'll see you later. K Manga sucks.
I'm just